So today's homework, let me start again from the beginning, so like that, for the recording. Today's homework is going to be the one with the little eyes, operation with integers. It's a mixed exploration problems. Click on the, open it up here. Again, I'm sorry. Begin with Google. Okay. The first thing I did is I gave you the notes of all the integer rules. Same, if, double negative, and the little man for multiplying divide. Okay? You have everything there in case you're still confused with it. Scroll. Your real homework is 1 through 7, but I'm going to do 2 with you and I'm going to start 1 with you. Like I'm going to start the story time with you, but you're going to finish it at home. Or finish it in class, because some kids are finishing in class. While you're working on it, I'm going to pull you out the ones that are failing the class and see you are working with those assignments that you owe me. If not, well, you'll see the calls that I'm making on the like I did in the period. Okay? So, I'm going to start with number 3, because that's the most difficult one. And not really, but that's the one that most kids have trouble sometimes. So number 3, the title is Operations with Integers. Homework journal, okay? And it's the little 2 eyes. Like, you know how these tiny Dracula, so you can't know which one it is. It's the one with the 2 eyes. Okay? So the problem says for parenthesis, open 16 over 8, close parenthesis, then plus -1. Copy that. That's okay. Before I even start, I want to ask you a question like, how many operations, let's see, how most classes have been doing pretty good. Some classes are confused. Let's see at this class. How many operations do you see in that expression? 3? You're sure? 3 or 2 or what? You see 5, sir? Let's see, tell me what 5 operations do you see?
Oh, never mind. Yeah, 3.
Okay, tell me what 3 do you see, sir?
The dividing thing.
Good, very good. That's 1. The division right there, the one with the adding, that's 2. Good job. There's 3 guys. So look, listen. My first job is to know how many operations there is, especially when we have so many numbers. So if you notice here, right there, a number next to parentheses means multiply. That's 1 operation. So it's 4 times. Then we have, right there, that fraction bar means what? Divide. That's 2 operations. Then we have the add. That's 3 operations. Questions? So you always need to know, hey, how many operations am I dealing with? In this case, we're dealing with 3. We're dealing with multiply, divide, and add. Because we're dealing with more than 1 operation, I need to use PEMDAS. Okay, the order of operations. The other thing that I know is that we're dealing with negatives, so I'm going to need rule solve questions. That's called analyzing the problem, saying, okay, what do I have in front of me? I have a multiply situation, a division, an addition, and we have negatives. So I'm going to need PEMDAS, and I'm going to need rules for sure. Questions? Okay, so let me start with PEMDAS, obviously, so I'm going to go PEMDAS. Do we have something to do inside the parentheses? Yes, we do. Right there, those 2 numbers. So I'm going to put my caret right there to show that I'm going to do those 2 numbers first. It's always 2 numbers at a time, guys. Okay? So 16 divided by 8, I can go to the side. 16, bottom out, divided by 8. 8 times what? 2, good. So 16 divided by 8 would be 2. So if you notice, I divided like if there's no negatives for now, just divide normally. But then I know that there was a negative, right? So what rule would I need for this one?
Dorito man.
Dorito man. But let's pretend that I forget at home one rule. I can go, scroll up, Nina. I can go back to this and see, okay, which one would I need? Do I need same, div, or do I need Dorito man? I need Dorito man because it's multiply or divide. I put it there. So if I forget what rule I need, I can always go back to this and watch that and see what rule I'm going to use. Scroll up again. So I do need Dorito man. So let me draw. And Dorito man works this way. Since I'm working with a negative and a positive, I'm going to circle the negative and a positive. Whatever I don't circle, that's the one I'm going to keep. So this answer is going to be -2. And put it in parentheses. Now you notice how the carrot was dealing with 16 and 8? Not with 4. So guess who comes down now? 4. Guess who comes down now? Plus and the -1. Go back to your checklist. Do you still have parentheses to work inside parentheses?
Yes.
No.
No. What's inside to work? There's nothing else to work inside. No operations inside. We do have parentheses physically, but do we have something inside the parentheses to work on? So now I can say, okay, I'm done with the P. Exponents, have I touched about exponents?
No.
So just put a check, I'm done with that. Do you have multiply or divide?
Yes.
Yes, we actually have multiply. So guess what? The multiplication gets the next caret. The next caret goes with that one. Multiply like you always do. 4 times 2 is?
8.
That's the first thing. Just multiply like you always do. Are we dealing with negatives?
Yes.
Yes, so guess what? I need a rule again. What rule would you use? Dorito man. Now I'm getting kids that will give me things like div. Div is for adding and subtracting. This is multiplication. Multiplication, division. I need to draw a fuerzas a Dorito man. Okay? So who am I going to circle now? Negative and positive. So the answer is going to stay -8. Keep it in parentheses if you want. Now, I am done with these two. Who will be coming next? The plus -1. Yes? Go back to your checklist. Do you have more multiply and divide? Check. Do we have add and subtract? Yes, we have add right there. So guess what? He gets the next card, -8 plus -1. Since we're dealing with negatives, I need again a rule. What rule would you use here? Now we're going to use same. Now some kids don't want to write the rule, and that's why you're messing up, guys. You don't want to write the rule because you think you know it, and I'm sure you do. Some of you are kind of buying good, but those careless mistakes of not writing it mess you up. Right now, I'll show you what I mean. So the 8 means what? To add. To add and keep the sign the same. So 8 plus 1 would be 9. And since they're both negatives, I'm going to keep them negative. I go to my box and punch in -9 on that answer. I am done with number 3. I can bubble all around and say I'm done with you, number 3. And I'm done with that one. Okay? Question. Okay, let me delete. To punch it in, you just click in the box, inside the box. And then you click inside the box and punch it in. Ariana, punch in -9. That's it. You can do it that way, or you can put 0.00. I don't care, but I think that's fine. You really need to put the negative in front, though. You can't leave it without the negative, and then it's going to think it's what? Positive when it's a negative answer. Question with number 3. Now I'm going to do number 4 for you. Okay? Number 4 says -2 in parentheses, and then another parenthesis -5, then another parenthesis 6, and then minus -8. Before I start this, I'm going to check how many operations again. How many? Look, you know what's the best way to check how many? If we read it. Let me read it. Look, check it out. So you can check it out. Negative 2, what's a parenthesis next to parenthesis means? So negative 2 times, there's one of them. Negative 5 times, there's two of them. Positive 6 minus negative 8, that's 3. Okay, so how many operations? 3. It's times, right here. So if you're not sure how many, just read the thing. Negative 2 times negative 5, that's 1. Negative 5 times positive 6, that's 2. 6 minus negative 8, that's 3. 3 operations. So if you just know how to read them, you'll know how many operations. Okay? So we have 3 operations, so we have to take care of using PEMDAS. So I'm going to have to do PEMDAS again. I'm probably going to need rules because there's a bunch of negatives, right? Now, somebody already called it good. I noticed that there's a what? So we have to take care of that first. I always like to take care of my double negatives first. So this is a double negative. And double negative, if I forget what to do with it, you can go back to that paper, and the paper says on the top right there, on the notes, it says to rewrite it. So this is going to be rewritten as plus what? 8. Not plus negative 8, plus 8. Double negative made it 8 plus. Questions with that? The rest, just bring it down the way it was. Okay? So the only thing that I quickly took care of is I have to take care of that double negative, rewrite the problem. Now we're ready to roll. Okay? Do you see any parentheses to work inside parentheses?
No.
No. Exponents? No. Multiply?
Yes.
Actually, we have 2 multiplications. We have negative 2 times negative 5 and negative 5 times 6. How do you do it? Left to right. When that happens and we have 2, we're going to go left to right. So these 2 will get the first carrot. And what's 2 times 5? Do I need a rule?
Yes.
Yes, because either you see negatives or minuses, we need rules. So what rule would I use in this case? Dorito man again. Because we're multiplying. Dorito man is for divide and multiply when there's negatives. Which one do I circle?
Negative.
Both of them or one? Both of them. So the answer is going to stay positive 10. So there, I'm done with that. I don't need to put parentheses around it anymore because it's just a positive answer. The next ones come down. Positive 6 plus 8. Okay, go back to your checklist. Do we still have multiply and divide? Yes, we have 10 times 6. I already told you, number next parenthesis means times. Parenthesis next parenthesis means times. So what's 10 times 6? Do I need a rule for this guy? No, because they're already positive. So we don't need rules when there's positive. Calculate and you're done. Who comes down? Plus 8. Go back to your checklist. Do you have multiply and divide more? No. Add and subtract? Yes, we have add. What's 60 plus 8? Do I need a rule? No. You could use the same on that one, but you don't really need it. It's positive. Then you go in there and punch in 68 like Ariana is going to show you. So you go in there and punch in 68. We don't need to put a positive sign. Questions? So your work should look like this. When it does not look like this, that you're not doing 2 numbers at a time, you're probably going to not be very successful in this assignment. Or when you know that you need rules and you're not writing the rules completely, you're not going to be successful in this assignment. So I'm going to show you an example of a kid that could have been successful because I think that the kid knows what they're doing, but chose not to be consistent with the strategies of writing the rules and stuff like that. So I want to show you this example. I like to show examples when we make mistakes because we learn from them. So if you notice this kid, I'm going to put a little flashlight so you can see. Right there, he starts with that. There's that carrot right there, which is good. You're supposed to start with a parenthesis right there, division. So he went 28 divided by 7, and he did get 4. And he said that it's negative 4 because he drew his Dorito man. And the Dorito man says if you have a negative positive, the answer will be negative. So far so good? Yes. Then brought down the negative 3. Now the new expression is negative 4 plus negative 3. And look, he writes the rule, what? Same, which means add in t. And guess what? Negative 7. Perfect, yes? Did he forget anything? No. He used his PEMDAS, he used his rules, everything looks great. Okay? What I don't get, then we go over here now to the next one. And now we start being, you know, fix this for me because I need it right now. In case I didn't put it right, so I think I did. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. We're right here now, okay? Check this out. He takes care of this part first, yes? There's the root. He's okay. He brings it down, and he deletes so you can see what he does. He brings it down, so now we're here. But where's the root? Where's the root in that one? Is there a root in that one that he put? Because he did not write the root, chances are that he's probably not going to be successful with this one. And guess what? He's not successful because he decides to add them when the rule says that it's supposed to be what?
Subtract.
Div, which is to subtract. That's why I want you to write the rule so this will not happen to you. Because he knows what he's doing, but por flojito aquí or flojita decides not to write the rule on the side and lets the mind take over and say plus 8, and now he has plus 8, negative 28. Doesn't make sense now. How can you say that you owe $20? Look what it says. Let's think about it. I owe $20 and then I paid back 8 and now I still owe $28. Does that make sense? That you owe $20 and you paid already back $8 and you're gonna still tell your mom, I owe $28. How can you owe more money if you already paid back $8? Do you understand? But if he would have written the rule, every caret should have a rule if there's negatives involved. That's what I'm trying to teach you today. So that first caret, we have the rule there on the side, the Dorito man. The second caret, where's the rule? Was it even apart? And that's why he's going to be what? Wrong. And that's why he was wrong. Okay? Compara the first one. The first one, he had his rules for every caret. Look at the first one. Yeah, he used Dorito man for the first one. That's good. He's supposed to use Dorito man. But for the second one, where's the rule? Guys, every caret should have a rule. Caret, rule, good. Caret, there's a rule on the side, good. If you do that, there's no way you're going to get it wrong. Unless you're getting the wrong rule. That's another problem, right? But that's why I gave you those notes to refer to them as you're working on this assignment. Any questions? I just wanted to share that with you because I can guarantee, like this one, does he have 2 rules? Yes, 2 carets, 2 rules. Do you think he's going to be right or wrong? Probably right. Let's check. 25 divided by 25 by 5. Oh, he messed up here. I don't know where he got the 25. He calculated it wrong.
25 divided by 5 is 5.
Yeah, he put that 25. But the rules are correct, but I don't know. Why would he put 25? Look, his work is there on the side. Look, does he have the answer of 5? And he put 25 again. Why? I do not know. Some of you make those careless mistakes. You know what you're doing, and then you put something that doesn't make sense. There's the work. This guy. Okay. The next one I'm going to do is number 7, because that's the one that kids have the most trouble. Go back to the Proverbs.
Okay.
Good job. Okay. Story problems now. It says a meteorologist predicted that this year the lowest temperature will be 10 degrees colder than twice the lowest temperature of last winter. You see how it becomes all complicated already? Like, like that's why this guy likes to go one sentence at a time and break it down into the facts. Okay, but let me continue. The lowest temperature last winter was negative 12 degrees Fahrenheit. What is the predicted lowest temperature this winter? So I'm gonna put number 7, and I'm gonna start with my question. Like I taught you, whenever there's story time, we start with a question. The question is, what is the predicted lowest temperature this winter? Okay, so they want the predicted. I'm not gonna put that whole thing. Just it worked basically for me to predict the lowest temperature. Didn't I tell you to start with a question always, right? Yeah. So the question is, what is the predicted lowest temperature? What's the lowest temperature that's going to be predicted? After the question, what do I click to that I want? Facts. Good job, guys. So I'm going to put facts. And I'm going to write the facts that they gave me by reading carefully and slowly, sentence by sentence. So sentence 1 says, the meteorologist predicted that the lowest temperature will be 10 degrees colder than twice the lowest temperature of last year. Okay. 10 degrees Fahrenheit colder. That's one fact. Now let's think about colder. When something gets colder, does that drop or it goes up?
Drop.
So I know that this guy's going to be a minus. That's getting the facts and understanding what they're trying to tell me. Now the next one. Twice the lowest temperature. What does the word twice in math mean? Multiply by 2. 2 times lowest temperature. I'm just reading what they're telling me, but I'm breaking it down in pieces that deal with math. So let me start again. 10 degrees colder, 10 degrees colder. Colder means that the temperature is going down, so that would be a minus. The next one said twice. Some of you said double. This guy said times. Same thing, times by 2. Double twice means 2 times what? Lowest temperature. So I'm just reading sentence by sentence and grabbing what I need. Next sentence. The lowest temperature last winter was negative 12 degrees. Oh, so this guy is the lowest temperature because they just told me. Right? They just told me the lowest temperature is negative 12. Now that I have all my information, I'm going to create an expression. So 2 times negative 12. Then minus 10. Do you understand? You could have written it like this too. 2 times negative 12 minus 10. On this one I put a dot, and this one I put parentheses. Don't answer. I don't care who it is. Questions? All I did is from my facts, I was able to create this. Look, 2 times lowest temperature. So 2, let me flash so you can see. So 2 twice means 2 times. Lowest temperature happens to be negative 12. So that's all I did there. 2 times negative 12, or 2 parentheses negative 12 is times. And then since it says colder than, that would be minus 10 degrees colder than minus 10. So how many operations am I going to have to deal with here? 2. It'll be a times and a subtract. But how many rules would I have to deal with? 2. What would be the first rule to deal with? Dorito. And then the second will be depending on what the answer on the Dorito is. If the answer on the Dorito is positive, then I'm going to have a diff situation. But if the answer is negative, I'm going to have a what? Same. You know why I'm going to have a same? Because that minus makes the 10 a what?
Negative.
But some kids still don't get that. Okay? Listen again. If my answer in the Dorito man is positive, I will have a dip because it will be positive and the minus 10, that's a negative. If the answer in the Dorito man turns out to be negative, then we have a negative, and this guy would be also a negative. That would be same. Questions, because I'm not going to do the rest. The hardest part is for me to pull out the information, which is what I just did. And that's why I want you to learn how to go sentence by sentence and just grab the things that deal with math. As soon as I saw the word colder, that deals with math, because colder means that the temperature is dropping. That means it's minus. Like on Monday, they're saying that it's going to get cold, like in the 50s. So that means that if you notice, usually in Brownsville it's in the 80s, 90s.
Yes.
So how can I get to the 50s? By what? Adding or subtracting? Subtracting. That's why colder means subtracting. Okay? Uh, Twice in math means to double. And when you want to double something, you're going to go times what? That's why I'm doing twice. Twice the lowest temperature they mentioned. I didn't know what the lowest temperature was until the third sentence. The first sentence said the lowest temperature last year was -12. That's where I got the -12. Once I have all my stuff, then I can create an expression and solve for it. Okay? Questions? So whatever I did not do with you, that will be for homework. Now that you know how I expect the paper, you saw that kid, that the one that I showed you in red pen. That's a great work, but he's being careless because he's not writing his rules. He's not being careful with what he's doing. Okay? So just be careful with what you're doing and write the rules and write the carry, write the class, and you're gonna be fine. But why would you put minus negative? Why would you do a double negative? It's just minus 10. Look, I'm glad that you look what he did. And I'm glad that you're showing me because kids think that way. Look, 2 times what? What was that one that we just did? 2 times what? 12. Okay. So what did you do there? What do I do there? So 2 times 12?
24.
Good. I need a rule. What's the rule? What do I circle? The answer would be? Now check it out. Here's what he did originally. I don't know why he would do that because now you're creating a double negative. And now by you doing that, that makes the 10 a plus. And he was always a what? Minus. So he's probably, you know why kids do this? Because I just said that 10 means a what? So he wants to make them a negative. So there's no need to make them a double. If you do double negative, you're gonna make them a what? A positive. You don't put a negative on them. The minus already makes them a what? Yes. So now we have, what rule would you use now? Same. Don't put a negative there because he was already a negative. When you put a double negative, you're actually gonna make them a what? A positive, and that means it's not getting colder. It's gonna get what? Hotter. Okay. But I'm glad that you asked me. You understand what he did or no? He dropped a minus and then he wanted to make the 10 a negative because he thinks that because I said that that's a negative situation. He wants to, because he's already a negative. By you putting a minus, he makes him a negative 10. You understand? You don't put a double negative because then he'll become a positive. Okay. Then the whole problem changes. It becomes hotter instead of colder. Okay? There's no need for us to put a double negative in there. Because he was not a double negative, he's just a minus 10, he's already a negative. By you having that minus, that makes that 10 a negative situation. Okay? Okay. Hopefully that helps you. If you're one that submitted and scored poorly already, because I was absent when I gave you this assignment, I'm going to reopen it for everybody. But when I reopen this one, it's not going to see which was right or wrong. I'm going to just clear the whole screen completely like brand new. So if you do not want me to do that and you submit it, tell me, sir, I don't want you to do that. Okay? Because I'm happy with my grade already. There has to be work the way I showed you right now. Okay? On the video, I'm going to post this video. I had already another video, but I didn't like it. So that's why I did it with you all. Which I'm glad. I think I did a better job on this one.